Why, hello, people! That's so stupid. Why did I say that? Hi, everyone. It's me, just doing a weekly catch up with you all. I'm been very busy this week, like very busy. I'm actually extremely exhausted. This is like week 3 of social distancing / stay-at-home orders in New York. We live out in the country, so we definitely are sending our thoughts and prayers to those that are in the city. And we are seeing a lot of interesting things go on here in the rural areas as well. But one thing that is for sure is that spring is on its way. And with that, we have to do all our prepping for our gardens and whatnot to make sure that we stay on track and don't lose the grow season. And since we have so much time off or working from home right now, we thought we would get some stuff done. So here is our video. So today I'm going to go ahead and clear the plot that I'm going to put down the weed fabric and put in our first raised bed. And then hopefully we'll put in a couple more here. Now we have really good soil, so we're going to revitalize it with some fertilizer and some minerals and then plant into the ground as well. These little things. Ah!
What little things?
Gross! I squished the bug!
Ew! Wash your hands. Put some soap. Put some soap. Put some soap on your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Dry them up. Dry them up. Dry them up. Dry them up. Stay healthy. Stay healthy. Stay healthy. Stay healthy. Okay. I'm streaming you.
Anything I can help with?
Yeah, as soon as I...
Well, now I got some fertilizer for the edit plants.
As soon as I go get the other two.
So don't put it on the other side. She wants to hydrate or not low.
She said she doesn't want it too high or too low.
Good morning, friends. Guess what happened? We've got a surprise for you today. Okay, so after much deliberation, we as a family decided it was finally time to take the risk. We got our
Chicks.
Our baby chicks today. All right, guys, I am gonna go take a walk. It is beautiful, 55 degrees out here, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a great day to get out and do some exercise. Now, I figured I would let you guys know what I'm reading right now and what I'm listening to. I'm reading a book called Doomsday. It's a sci-fi story, a historical retelling with a science fiction twist to it, where a bunch of students go back in time to study history and sciences and people and politics and whatnot. So they time hop into the past, and one of them gets stuck there. So it's a really interesting book so far. I'll have to let you guys know how it goes. And then right now I'm listening to a book called The Deathless Divide, in which is another historical retelling. It's set around the time of the Civil War. And instead of the Civil War happening, the dead rises and African Americans are freed from slavery so that they can go to school to learn how to defend us, white people, from the purge of dead people. And so it follows this African American woman who has been trained in the deadly arts and is defending Baltimore. And then she's sent out west. And when she's sent out west, all hell breaks loose. The whole eastern coast is taken over, and she must manifest destiny to the west coast. So it's quite interesting and fun. Of course, who doesn't love a little bit of zombie apocalypse going on? So come with me. I am out on a windy day and I am working on my raised gardens. I have 2 already done. I'm gonna do another one later, but I'm putting the hoops on the garden for the Agribond fabric, so we can kind of protect it from frost and from bugs and all that. Mind you, I'm not an expert. I'm actually new to northern New York, so this shall be an experimental garden this year. Okay guys, so recently I've been reading some books. I know, I'm actually reading. I was having a hard time with the reading situation at the beginning of this whole stay-at-home orders and the quarantine stuff that was going on. I was just really distracted, but I kind of think I found my groove a little bit, and I have been reading more, which is wonderful. Right now I'm reading, well, I'm still finishing up The Deathless Divide. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, basically what's going on is everyone has their own agenda and they think they're right, and they're pretty much using these African American people to get their own agenda done, and none of them are right necessarily, and there's like all this secretive stuff going on. But needless to say, every place they end up going is getting taken over by the undead, and the story follows along these 2 ladies as they go out west, and they kind of have to find themselves and find each other, and it is really good. I also just finished a romantic comedy, which, you know how I feel about the romance books. They're not always my favorite, but I enjoyed this one. It was called The Beach Read by Emily Henry, and it is about an author who's a very successful rom-com author. Well, actually, she's categorized in chick lit, like women's literature.
But basically it's a romance book. Anyway, so she's kind of lost herself. Her dad dies and everything in her life is turned upside down, and she's like coming to a place where she can't write and she's having a hard time. And so she gets the keys to her father's house and she goes to the house and she's trying to find the answers that her father left, like the answers to the questions that were left when her father passed away. Like, I cannot speak today. And then during this time, she has a next door neighbor who kind of seems like a butt face. Needless to find out that he's actually her arch enemy from college, another famous and well-to-do author as well. So they of course are like having this weird like tension filled relationship back and forth, and there's a lot of funny dialogue in here, and it's very witty and smart, and it basically asks the question, how can someone write romantic literature when they don't believe in romance anymore? Because we all know things happen in life and not everything works out perfect. And so these two authors have to kind of figure out how they feel. Do they still believe in romance? How can they write it if they don't believe in it? And find themselves and find their true artistic expression. And they challenge each other. They shape each other. They're not like perfect like romantic couple. They have their issues and they are a bumbling mess, but together they really push each other, and I really loved it. I loved it so much. So this one is a book of the month choice, and one of my New Year's resolutions was to actually read the book of the month that I chose for that month, and I chose this one, so I got it done. I'm on a roll. So those are the two books I read. I'm also reading a book called Regrow Your Vegetables, and it's a book about gardening, but basically there are some vegetables that you get from the store and you can use them and actually replant them and they'll grow again. So I'm reading that book to kind of find out what kinds of vegetables and how to do that specifically. You can start them in your kitchen or you can actually transplant them into your garden as well. And so that is what I'm reading just because I'm in the gardening kick these days. Me and my husband have always... Ooh, I just burped. I'm sorry. Me and my husband have always wanted to be homesteaders and have our own farm. And my husband's military, so we've waited a long time to get to this point where we're in the right area and we're in the right time in our lives to start up this stuff. And my husband's transitioning out of the military, so we're right at that edge. And so that's why I've started a huge garden. I mean, obviously also what's going on around the world right now, that kind of influenced how big my garden was this year, but it was already going to exist because we're in a new location. We're new to upstate New York, and yeah, with that, I've just kind of been thinking about how we're going to grow our own food and starting to like do the homesteading thing, even though we do eventually want to get into actual farming, but that is something that will come later on. I figure we start small, learn from our mistakes and learn from our successes, and we'll just keep going little by little. So hence why I have a giant garden back there, and I'm going to show you some more footage of it next video just because I've done a lot to it. And I know I skipped a week and I didn't post anything last week, and it's like halfway through this week, and gosh, I'm doing so horrible. My goal is to try to like do 1 or 2 videos a week. It is hard for me because I have my kids home. I'm still working from home as a librarian. So some of my my videos will probably be the videos that I make for the library as well. So I apologize if I come out saying, "Hi, it's Anna from Keepinton Library." That's just what I have to do for my work as well. So with that being said, I'm sorry that I keep saying And next video, I will show you more of the garden, and I will also show you the chickies. Right now my garden's about 90, no, not 95. Okay. Now I have to do math and I'm not good at math. Okay, 68 by 39. A 68 by 39, whatever that is. I'd have to actually do the math. I'll come back to that. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and let me know what you thought or what you're doing with your spring while we're all staying at home. And I will see you guys next video. Bye.